When Logan Paul first announced he was suing Coffeezilla, most people rolled their eyes. It felt like a desperate swing from a cornered influencer, someone who'd been publicly humiliated and wanted to swing back, not with facts, but with force. But now, months into the lawsuit, the situation has evolved into something far more revealing and dangerous than anyone initially anticipated. Not only has Logan Paul accidentally exposed his own intentions in devastating fashion, but the lawsuit is now on the verge of backfiring so badly that it could reshape how creators, critics, and scammers are held accountable in the YouTube era.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this CryptoZoo stuff. If CryptoZoo is in there, if Coffeezilla is in there, I'm not going to promote it.
It all began when Coffeezilla, YouTube's most well-known crypto investigator, released a 3-part documentary in late 2022 that exposed Logan Paul's failed NFT game, CryptoZoo, a project that was marketed as a fun, animal-based play-to-earn crypto game, but ultimately collapsed under accusations of scams, stolen funds, and broken promises. Coffeezilla's investigation wasn't just damning, it was meticulous. With dozens of sources, internal chats, and even former developers from the project, he painted a compelling picture of either incredible incompetence or deliberate deception. Fans lost millions, Logan went silent, and then, 2 years later,
and I'll see you in court,
he sued. But that's where the story really begins. At first glance, Logan Paul's lawsuit appeared to be standard defamation, claiming that Coffeezilla's videos caused emotional distress, reputational harm, and financial damages. But when legal experts began reviewing the actual court filings, the cracks in Logan's argument became immediately obvious. For one, he filed the lawsuit in June 2024, well past the statute of limitations for defamation in Texas, where the lawsuit was filed. That meant he couldn't legally sue over the original 3-part series and had to base his case on more recent, less impactful statements. Which begged the question, why now? The answer became clearer when another, far more serious legal case entered the mix, a class action lawsuit from CryptoZoo investors led by attorney Tom. While Logan had mostly dodged accountability for the project, this new lawsuit threatened to dig deeper into the financials, chat logs, and inner workings of the game. And suddenly, it made sense. This wasn't about Coffeezilla, it was about survival. Logan needed a way to gain access to evidence and limit scrutiny, and targeting Coffeezilla was the perfect smokescreen. That wasn't speculation, that was Logan's own words. Court documents revealed text messages from Logan Paul, written before the lawsuit was filed, stating that his goal was to sue this mother into the ground, and that the lawsuit would make everything come out. Logan even admitted in writing that the whole point was just to make his life difficult. He referred to himself as a petty billionaire, suggesting that draining Coffeezilla's bank account through legal fees was the real objective, not justice, not vindication, just punishment. But this strategy carried a fatal flaw. By aggressively pursuing Coffeezilla, Logan accidentally created a legal overlap between the defamation lawsuit and the CryptoZoo class action case. In other words, by trying to destroy his biggest critic, he linked the two lawsuits together in a way that might allow a judge to merge them, a devastating outcome that would strip Logan of the ability to compartmentalize his legal problems. It's like setting your house on fire to kill a fly, and accidentally igniting the entire neighborhood. Coffeezilla's legal team pounced. In April 2025, they filed a motion to stay and transfer the venue of the case, citing 3 major reasons. 1, the evidence in both lawsuits was practically identical. 2, Logan's lawsuit wasn't about clearing his name, but punishing a reporter. And 3, Logan was using the defamation case to gain inside information on the class action lawsuit. And if there was any doubt about that third point, the documents provided receipts. One of Logan's key demands was access to Coffeezilla's private communications with a third party involved in the CryptoZoo scandal, who turned out to be none other than attorney Tom, the lead lawyer in the class action case. So Logan wasn't just trying to punish Coffeezilla, he was using discovery as a way to spy on the opposing legal team. Unfortunately for him, the judge wasn't impressed. Logan's motion to compel those communications was denied, while Coffeezilla and Tom's motion for protection was granted. That's not just a minor loss, that's a courtroom humiliation. Worse still, Coffeezilla's team proposed a fair compromise. They would answer questions during depositions, own submissions. But Logan refused, insisting on full access to protected information while simultaneously filing motions to keep his own communications hidden, He wanted to play offense and defense at the same time, but in trying to control the narrative, he's lost control of the courtroom. Behind the scenes, this has had massive implications. For starters, Logan's text messages have now become a central piece of evidence. His own words show malicious intent, something that destroys the core of his defamation claim. To win a defamation lawsuit, Logan would have to prove that Coffeezilla knowingly published false information with actual malice. But now, the court has evidence that Logan was the one acting with malice. His premeditated goal was to inflict pain, not correct the record. That distinction matters legally, and it could be fatal to his case. But there's a bigger problem brewing, and it's not just about who wins in court. If Logan Paul succeeds, even slightly, it would send a chilling message across the creator community. That if you dare to expose scams, if you dare to hold powerful influencers accountable, you might face a financially devastating legal battle. That's why Coffeezilla's victory matters not just for himself, but for every journalist, whistleblower, and honest YouTuber out there. And that's what Logan miscalculated. Because this isn't a PR war anymore, it's precedent. Even YouTube itself is watching. As the case drags on, Coffeezilla's side is hoping to reach a resolution through mediation, an option that would avoid an expensive, prolonged trial. A judge has given both parties until June 26, 2025 to settle. But knowing Logan's track record, a clean resolution seems unlikely. His strategy seems to be delay and bankrupt, hoping that dragging Coffeezilla through years of litigation will accomplish what evidence never could. It's a dangerous game, and one that might already be unraveling. Because the deeper you look into this case, the more obvious it becomes that Logan is less concerned with the truth and more concerned with protecting his empire. His actions, filing lawsuits after the statute of limitations expired, targeting critics with vague accusations, and admitting behind closed doors that the goal is revenge, paint a picture of someone who knows he's guilty but refuses to accept it. And now, his brand is collapsing under the weight of that denial. From WWE appearances to Prime Hydration launches, Logan built himself into a mainstream celebrity. But now, every headline about this lawsuit chips away at that image. He's no longer the reformed YouTuber who rose above controversy. He's the millionaire influencer who scammed his fans, then tried to sue the truth away. And in doing so, he's only made Coffeezilla stronger. Because even if Coffeezilla loses in court, he's already won in the court of public opinion. His videos, his investigations, and now his legal defense are all a blueprint for what accountability can look like in the influencer economy. Meanwhile, Logan's lawsuit has become a cautionary tale, not about defamation, but about desperation. And that's the terrifying part, because Logan's actions don't just affect himself. If successful, they would embolden other influencers to do the same. Every crypto scammer with a lawyer could weaponize defamation claims to silence critics, and every fan who lost money would lose again, not in crypto wallets, but in legal precedent. That's why Coffeezilla's defense isn't just important, it's essential. And that's why the situation keeps getting worse. Because Logan Paul, in his arrogance, has turned a personal vendetta into a public spectacle, and the more he fights, the more he reveals. Not just about himself, but about the broken system that allowed CryptoZoo to happen in the first place. And if there's one thing the internet never forgets, it's when a scammer gets caught red-handed and then tries to sue their way out of it.